Welcome back, everybody. My name is Jason Catalano, and this is Catalano Baking, where's our mission to provide high-protein baked goods to support your aesthetic, athletic, and fitness goals. Today, we have a great one. It's a cookbook review of one of my favorites, the King Arthur Flour All-Purpose Baker's Companion, right here, all-purpose cookbook. So this particular cookbook is actually one of my favorites. I draw a lot of inspiration from it, and it pretty much goes through everything in terms of baking: pies, cupcakes, cakes, breads, baguettes, anything you can think of, pancakes, like all of it, it covers. And it covers it in a very traditional and kind of classic way, utilizing traditional and classic ingredients. And the biggest thing that I got from a takeaway, the big idea with this cookbook is going to be, if you love that classic traditional taste, follow these recipes to the T. You're going to get a lot of food that you're going to be making, but it's going to taste very classic American, right? They use a lot of things like butter and milk and just, once again, it's a very, very classic 1950s type of cookbook. Now, the good thing with this cookbook is I particularly like to make a lot of substitutions in terms of higher protein. And the three big things I really love about this particular cookbook is that the ingredients are very easy to substitute, number one. Number two, I think they have a very good breadth of the amount of actual recipes that they have. It's not just like one chocolate chip cookie. They'll actually have like 10 different ones. And it's like, whoa, like there's a lot of great ideas on different forms of each particular baked good. And then of course, number three, what I really like is there's a lot of common ingredients, but they also list out in the back a lot of the common substitutions that we talked about. And so you kind of get a little bit of flexibility with this, but you also get a lot of authority. These are time-tested recipes that are classically good. So in terms of the contents of the book itself, it's broken down into breakfast, fried dough, quick bread, cobblers and crisps, crackers, flatbreads, yeast bread, sourdough, cookies and bars, cakes, pies, tarts, pastries, and then it goes down into ingredients and tools. As you can see, as a baker, there's a lot to pick from here, and especially with high protein baked goods, there's a lot we're going to be covering where the inspiration, like I said, starts in this book, and we pretty much just make small tweaks here and there. For instance, flavoring, adding flavorings in, adding things like nuts or fruits in to these basic recipes, or adding substitutions like almond flour or Greek yogurt. Those are going to be things that we're going to be doing within this cookbook. So for me, my favorite recipes out of this one, to be honest with you guys, is this one. It's the lemon ricotta puff pancakes with vanilla scented sauce. This one particularly is very, very good with a vanilla protein. It's just one of those classic breakfast pancakes that I absolutely love. It's a very kind of, it's not as strong as a taste as you would think, but I think that the texture of the lemon ricotta, like it goes together perfect. Absolutely one of my favorite breakfast dishes. The other one in terms of breads, it's a classic Portuguese bread. It's called a popover. And the popover, what I really like about this one is it's super, super, super easy to put in things like superfoods or extra protein or a little bit of a flavoring like an almond flavor or something like that. You can put a little bit of nuts on it if you really want to, a little bit of cinnamon sugar on the top, butter on the top. There's a lot of things you can do with a popover, very, very basic. Very, very simple to make though, right? This is one of those kind of classic Portuguese dishes that I personally like from the cookbook. But it kind of shows you kind of the diversity of the cookbook itself, and that from a baking perspective, there's a lot of different recipes, particularly within the baking cookbook. But it's a lot of different heritages. Like there's a lot of different influences within here. They're time tested, they work. Ingredient wise, you're gonna be using a lot of common ingredients, right? Baking soda, baking powder, kosher salt, or Himalayan pink salt if you want to upgrade. They have a lot of things like all-purpose flour. We're going to put in some almond flour. It's one of the substitutions we're going to be making. We're going to put in Greek yogurt, but they have butter in case you want to put that in. And this is just a great resource that I highly recommend that you put on your kitchen shelves. If you really want to impress guests, this is definitely one of those cookbooks where you can open it up, look over some of the inspirations that you see. For instance, they have like a fried dough or frogs or churros with chocolate dip. Things like that. As a general baking cookbook, I highly recommend it. Go out and get some of the common ingredients, play around with the substitutions. And with that, I'm going to say that this particular baking cookbook, absolutely give a huge thumbs up. I absolutely recommend the King Arthur Flour Baker's Companion All-Purpose Baking Cookbook. And with that, Jason Catalano signing out.